Hi, I'm Sylvia Gordon.
And I'm Rebecca Gordon.
We are going to be talking about agents that want to retire, since everybody's getting older and they all want to think about retiring, what that looks like with your insurance license if you decide to move to a sunshine state, and other fantastic stuff.
Stay tuned. All right, so you don't hear a lot about E&O claims ever in the Advantage market. We had to mess with it a lot in the under 65 market or life, but now you've been hit with an Advantage E&O claim.
So I have not been hit.
Okay, she's not been hit. But one has surfaced, which is unique.
It is unique because I always tell people I've never seen a claim on E&O,
Right.
ever, from Medicare Advantage.
Ever.
Saw my first one, and it was interesting, so I want to make everybody aware that, that I can't believe I haven't seen more of this. It's probably just because the clients haven't been litigious. So what happened?
So a client thought that her agent was signing her up for Part B.
Right, so the agent sat down and explained how it's going to work. You sign up for Part B, and this is how your Medicare Advantage will work, and blah, 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 blah.
But then
The client didn't do their part. The client didn't sign up for Part B. So then when this was caught a month later, when the application didn't come back because the Part D didn't come, then she blamed him. And he's like, no, no, no.
Right.
I explained it to you,
Right.
how to do it, what to do.
Was there a paper trail? Was there any proof?
No, he didn't have any proof. So I would follow up every verbal presentation with the directions to the client. So you can have a written record to say, I told you how to sign up, when to sign up, why to sign up with Medicare Part B, because she sued him because she didn't follow his directions to sign up for Part B, and she won.
And another thing is if you're taking someone from a Med Sup to an Advantage, have a paper trail that you're telling the client to cancel the Med Sup only after they've been approved.
Or Med Sup to another Med Sup, because we get that all the time. You're going to save them $30 a month on their new Med Sup.
They think you're going to do it.
And they always think the agent's going to cancel. The agent's really good about saying, do not cancel your existing coverage until you have proof that your new coverage is enforced. Everybody understands that liability. But then they don't cancel the old one because they, our clients are older. They're older.
I've seen this.
They're confused a lot of times.
Age of clients. They think the agent's going to do it.
Right.
They wrote the policy. They'll cancel the other one.
And you tell them, follow it up in an email so that they know that they are responsible for canceling their Medicare supplement. Tell us in the comments if you are the one that always cancels it for them, because there are agents that take on that liability. But have the paper trail, because we always get agents that call and they go, look, she didn't cancel her Med Sup.
Right.
6 months later, now she wants me to get that premium back and me to do all the legwork, which sometimes you can get it back, sometimes it's a problem. Or she's going to sue you. And I have seen a lot of E&O claims on Med Sup to Med Sup transfers. Keep in mind, I remember Gary, I'm not going to say his last name, he's not even active insurance anymore.
Oh, I think I know who you're talking about.
Gary Cole.
That's what I thought of.
Yeah, he wrote the Med Sup to have 1 day overlap, the new policy with the old policy.
Oh.
And he lost his Indiana license over that.
Interesting.
Because it's illegal to have 2 Med Sups. And she, for 1 day, she had 2 Med Sups.
Oh.
Yeah. And this was like 20 years ago, but it caused him trouble once he got his license back, like after a year. It caused him trouble licensing for the rest of his career. They always came back on, like, why did he do this? So this is an unfortunate part of our business, your claims history and risk. And this is something you really need to educate your downline agents, your agency about.
And keep a paper trail.
Because most people don't take this seriously
at all times.
Enough. And remember, when you do have an E&O claim, your rates will go up, just like all other insurance. They'll come back. We just had a video that came out about 4 common mistakes when you set up your LLC for insurance agents.
So we had an agent call in who said, I'm way too busy to do an LLC right now. AEP's coming up. Can I just do it later? And then what do I do with the commissions that are coming directly to me? Right. So first of all, I want to thank the agents that watched the video. But if you appreciate the free content that we put out, and it is helpful because a lot of people put it behind a paywall that you have to be a subscriber to get the content or be a member or be in our downline. We educate anybody in the insurance sphere for free. All we ask of you is that you help us with the YouTube algorithm with our business.
Like, love, share us. So easy, it's free.
And all you gotta do is go into the comments and write anything. You can write Hakuna Matata. That helps us with YouTube. Share it with one friend. Just share it with us. Share it with anybody. We don't care. And the thumbs up is the least bit of help, but the thumbs up helps. So
I like it.
For those of you that we are benefiting with our free content, thank us by doing that there, not by emailing me or texting me privately. But this agent said, I don't have time to do it right now.
I understand.
It's almost AEP.
I hear you.
Can I do it later? And the answer is, of course.
Of course.
You can do it at any time. But the commissions that you have right now set up to pay to your Social Security number, with you as a sole proprietor, in most cases, can't be then transferred to your corp. It's hard to talk broadly because every company has different rules.
Ever?
With most of them, no. Everything that was paid to your social will continue, the renewals will continue to pay to your social.
So now is the time to set up your LLC. How long would it take to set up an LLC?
It's not that it takes long. You can do it in an hour. You know, depending on the state, it's like 150 to 500, depending on the state. It's not that it takes a long time. It's that then you have to get the corp license. Then you have to change all your contracts to pay to the corp. That's what takes time.
Lady, if you're watching this show, don't write much this AEP. That'll help you out.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Your career is long. Your career is long. And if you have to wait a year or two before you have time and money to do that, it's cool. You just want to do it.
The sooner the better.
Yeah, you just want to do it as soon as you can.
It's going to be a pain in the butt.
Because I have people that say, yeah, I was thinking about doing that 5 years ago and I never got around to it. Yeah, but if you need to wait a year or wait 6 months or wait a season, that's not going to
As soon as it's over, then make that your New Year's resolution, get it done.
Get it done when things slow down in January.
That's a good time to do it.
But just keep in mind, with most carriers, it's very difficult, if not impossible, to change how those commissions were paid.
That is true, because I know I fought this on our end. Like, well, if we transfer the block, no, we still have to pay out the renewals.
And again, the whole point of having an LLC is to shield your personal assets from your corporate liability. So the sooner you protect yourself, the better. Because that's one of the things she said is, hey, I don't want to lose my house.
Yeah.
And have you know, you're not going to lose your house.
Right.
You know, have you know, most carriers wouldn't contract you without it. But people get squirrely and they get it to get their contract. They cancel it.
Yep.
And so just don't be squirrely, and you're gonna be fine. I will also like to comment here on my jumpsuit, which this is my first time you see my video, and I would have to say, look like a railroad conductor.
It's kind of cool. Is that what we bought in Chicago?
Yeah, I think I need one of those railroad hats, and I could make that whole outfit really work. Let me know in the comments, ladies, how you feel. I'm sure the guys could care less.
It's pretty.
Let's talk about
moving to Florida.
Moving to Florida. We get this question almost daily.
I want to retire. I want to move to Florida. I want to work. I'm just going to set up my office down there. Sounds easy.
So, yeah, especially those of us that live in the north or the cold Midwest. We had an agent from Illinois this week that said, hey, I'm retiring to Florida. How do I change my resident license from Illinois to Florida?
And Illinois in itself is an interesting state. If you do that, Illinois requires you to terminate your license.
Right. So that sucks.
That sucks.
So
what the heck?
And then since he's moving to Florida, Florida requires you
sit for an exam, do the fingerprints
again. So yeah, you're like, I've had a license for 35 years. Yeah, baby, you're going to go back to licensing.
Why do you think they do that?
The school. So they're trying to put barriers to entry so that everybody doesn't go down and get a license in Florida. And they have, crazy competition, which they already do. But that bar does get a lot of people think, screw that, I'm not going to go sit for the exam again. So it does work. And the fingerprinting, that does work. And
do they make you sit
the tax for all the different counties.
exam, or can you do it online?
I assume... I better not assume because we all know what happens when you do that. I do not know. I will find out.
Let's Google it.
I would assume that you have to sit in person because it'd be so much fraud if it's online. But I will check.
Hire someone.
Those of you that are interested in the answer, hit me up in the comments and we'll respond to you on that.
Lori Loughlin to go and take that.
While we're talking about, we can go back to the Wednesday wrap-up thing. While we are talking about... every year there's some people that get in trouble because they call people online or they call people on the phone and like, hey, we need to move your Part D because of your drugs. Do you want me to do this? And I can do it and I don't need your signature and I can do it.
Ooh.
And then you see people complaining. I've never seen an E&O complaint, but they complain to the carrier or CMS or somebody.
Is it a fraud call or is it a legit like concierge service call?
No, it's a legit call.
Okay.
It's just that they're just trying to be expedient.
Yeah.
And especially right now with COVID.
Right.
Is that I could call you, Rebecca, and I say, hey, Rebecca, based on your drugs, I need to move you from Aetna to Cigna.
I've already been your agent.
Yeah. And I have all your information already. You cool? And you're like, yeah, cool, do it.
Right.
But then later, they don't remember that call, and there's no email trail to prove that you had permission. There's nothing.
You gotta have that follow up.
And they don't remember, and they say, I never told her to move me.
Oh.
I see that every year. Yeah.
You gotta have a paper trail, a recap email. This is what we discussed. Blah 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 blah.
Cover your assets. CYA. And that's where you need paper. And that's why it's always a good rule when your clients call into you for any reason. Just notate it. If you don't have a CRM where you can put the notes on their actual file, just make a note and throw it in your...
Old school.
And I date, I date it.
Total old school.
And I say, Mary called me because blah, 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 blah. And I have something in my file to CYA. That's all I have for this week.
That's all I have. Have a great day.
Thank you guys. Happy selling.